Ahava and blessings. Welcome to this episode of Hold the Shahina. This podcast is here to support us during this intense and amazing ascension process. This process of spiritual growth, of embodiment, of expansion, of awakening, of remembering who we are, remembering our soul essence. I am your host. My name is Aurea. I am an ordained Magdalene priestess, an energy and sound healer, and a Reiki master. And I am your host and your guide for this beautiful episode on this Winter Solstice portal. So welcome. And don't forget to tune in to the companion sound healing episode. But first, let's dive into the significance of the winter solstice. The winter solstice is an earth holiday. It is an earth cosmic alignment celebration. Let's just put it that way. It's a celebration. It is a way for us to honor creation, honor the cycles. And the cycles are powerful. When you work with the lunar cycle, when you work with the cycles of the days of the week, when you work with the cyclical yearly cycles, every one of those cycles holds wisdom. They hold prophecy. They hold deep knowledge and wisdom that they impart upon us when we choose to take the time to align with them. And the winter solstice, just like the equinoxes and the summer solstice, are very powerful times to align with the divine. This is a time when the electromagnetic field of the earth is at its thinnest. We have the ability to access higher dimensions, higher wisdom on a more powerful level. This is the day in the Northern Hemisphere where it is the longest night, the shortest day. So you'll notice that all traditions hold similar practices as we're going into the winter solstice or the summer solstice, these earth portals. These are associated with the growing cycles, the seeding cycles of the earth. And our ancestors knew how to align and harmonize with these energies because the earth was and is the life-giving force. So when we align with the earth, what we're doing is we're putting ourselves in harmony, in balance, in alignment, and we are allowing ourselves to go deeper and deeper into the spiral that is life. So you'll notice that during the winter solstice, well, as we're leading up to the winter solstice, that there's a lot of celebrations of light conception. There's Hanukkah, there's Diwali. Different cultures and traditions have different ways to honor the sun, to honor the light, to bring in more light. There is this emphasis on bringing in more light. And because it is in the Northern Hemisphere the darkest, longest nights. So it's very crucial that we ourselves cultivate this light. I'm taking a sip of my cacao. So, I forgot to mention that. If you are in a place where you can take some time, make yourself a cup of cacao, make yourself a nice tea, something that feels very nourishing and grounding to your body. Mine is with rose powder, a little bit of rose tea, and cacao, and a little bit of stevia, and it is absolutely yummy. And I'm using this to ground my energy as well as to bring in more of the energies of love. Because the earth, she is the greatest healer, and she is the one that really supports us in this process if we choose to align. So the winter solstice, as I mentioned, is the shortest day, the longest night, the time when we align with the cycle. So this is a powerful time because Mercury is also in retrograde. And when Mercury is in retrograde, that means that it appears to be moving backwards in the sky. And it's not like some people look at it as a time of like utter, something to be fearful about. I don't look at any of the cycles as as being something to be afraid of or wary of. It's simply something to be aware of, so we understand the energies that we are working with. Remember, everything is energy. Your entire physical body is energy. Every cell in your body is sending electrical impulses to other cells in your body. So you are energy at a fundamental level, even though we have not been taught this. This has been hidden from us, and we've been taught that we are only physical matter, and we aren't. So it's very important to understand that we are energy. So energy does affect us. And when we align with the cycles, when we understand how the cycles work, we can better navigate what is in front of us. So when any planet is in retrograde, I think Pluto is also in retrograde as well as Neptune. Or is it Uranus? No, I think Uranus just went forward. But I will look actually. So I was right. Uranus is in retrograde as well as Mercury. And Pluto came out of its retrograde. So retrogrades are a time to pause, to reflect, to review, to refine, to reassess, anything with a re. Review, reassess, redefine, retweak whatever has been going on. So it is very important to slow down during this time, to allow more time for you to really make the best decision based on what is going on for you. And Mercury is the planet of communication, of technology, it's the divine messenger. It is Hermes, Mercury, the god of communication, the god that could basically go beyond the veil. So he was the one that allowed us to communicate with the divine, gods, goddesses. And it's the frequency of the mind, of the analytical mind. So you might notice that you might be a little foggy around this time. Technology tends to break down. There are delays when it comes to traffic, when it comes to travel during these times. But again, it's not anything to be fearful of. It's just simply something to be aware of, so we can take the time to slow down and really receive the information that is before us. And this is a time when the earth is going into winter. It is a time for stillness. It is a time for silence. It is a time for reflecting. It is a time for renewal and rebirth. There are a lot of myths that talk about the rebirth. The Yeshua Christ was reborn on the winter solstice, Christmas Day. Isis had her son Horus, and there are many other mythologies that have similar miraculous births of light conception. And light conception is conceiving a child, a being, a light being, or a creation imbued with the infinite light of creation. So basically, everything that we create in our lives has that potential to be holding and anchoring the infinite light of creation. This is why during this time, it is very important to focus on your personal spiritual practices, your spiritual development, your spiritual growth, the tips and the techniques and the practices that you do in order for you to anchor in more light and to infuse all of your creations with the infinite light. So it is important to purify at this time too. It is important to really lay the foundation for your creations, your manifestations, what you wish to birth into being, to be for the ground for them to be as fertile as possible, as conducive to growth, to expansion, to nurturing and nourishing these seeds that we are birthing. And we're coming onto the end of the year, so a lot of us are going into that well, some of us, we should be going perhaps into this deeper introspection, but society has made it so difficult because society places an emphasis on, oh my God, now we have to have the best dress or the best parties or the best food or the best toys and gifts. And there's an emphasis on materialism and on the tangible instead of an emphasis on the the spiritual. And by spiritual in this situation, I mean the why, the intention behind what we are doing, the intention of us giving gifts, the intention of us wanting whatever it is that we desire. Because remember, desires can either lead us into deeper spiritual growth and awareness, into deeper introspection, into deeper awareness and self mastery, or they can lead us into basically all of the negative greed, gluttony, avarice, all like jealousy. It can lead us to the darker place, the darker emotions, the lower frequencies, or it can lead us into the higher. Again, remember, nothing is black or white. Nothing is good or bad in and of itself. It is the intention behind the actions. It is the intention behind our words. It is the intention behind what we are doing. And at this time, because we're so busy, it really is that much more important for us to master our own frequency, to understand our own energy so we know how to better navigate. So we are not as easily frazzled or stressed out or jumping down other people's throats or just quick to get upset or unraveled by what is going on in our exterior. Remember, the exterior, our physical world, is a manifestation of the internal. And I will say this, it's not just a manifestation of your internal. It's a collective manifestation of everybody's thought projections, every being. So it is very important for you to be aware of what energy you're holding and what frequency you're holding, and choose where it is that you can best spend your energy, your time, your resources to bring in more abundance, more joy, more peace, more of all of that freedom that we desire. So it is, and it's also a time right now where the earth is being aligned with the galactic center. So the galactic center is the void of all creation. It is that cosmic womb. It is the source. So it is that field of unity consciousness from which everything is birthed and to which everything returns. So it doesn't matter if you call this God, goddess, Allaha, Avun, none of it. The name doesn't matter. The name is simply something that we on a 3D level think that is important. But what matters is the frequency that we are attuning to. Are we attuning and allowing that infinite flow of light, that infinite seeding to happen into our world, or are we preventing it by holding on to judgment, holding on to fear, anxiety, doubt, disbelief, holding on to this illusion that we aren't infinite, co-creative beings? Because remember, we've been bamboozled, we've been lied to, and we've been taught that we are finite creatures, that our actions don't really matter. We've basically given our power away to systems that have sought to control, oppress, and basically steal our energy, steal our creative power. We are in this point in time where we are taking our power back, where we are standing in our power. And taking our power back doesn't involve us getting angry or anything. It's simply acceptance. Acceptance that you are this infinite being. You are infinite source expressing itself in your physical form. And through your actions, through your words, through your thoughts, you create a ripple effect on creation. You can impact creation. You are impacting creation. Now, up until now, maybe you were doing it unconsciously. You were doing it from the programs and the limiting beliefs and the patterns and the karmas and the traumas. You were creating from those places. But now, with this deeper awareness, you have the ability to liberate yourself and to shed all of those programs and embody your infinite light. Embody your truth, the truth that you are infinite, the truth that you are infinite light, you are infinite source, God, Goddess, creating, co-creating with the divine. My teacher has, I believe this was one of my beautiful teacher, Anna. She mentioned, I think this was a channeling from Mary Magdalene. And even when I've channeled the Hathors, I've gotten the same message. Your breath, on the other side of your breath, and I'm paraphrasing, on the other side of your breath is the divine. So every breath is a communication with the divine, with God, Goddess, Allah. So every breath we take is precious. Every action we take is precious. Everything that we do has that potential to be holy, to be sanctified, to be sacred. Our physical vessels are sacred. Meanwhile, that's the opposite of what we are taught. We are taught that we are not good enough. We are taught that you have to look like this, or you have to have this car, or this amount of money, or fill in the blank. We are taught a distorted view of the world and therefore ourselves. And from this place, we wind up doing more harm than good because we are unaware, we are asleep. So when you take your power, when you stand in your power, you are courageously declaring that you are not going to take part in that bullshit. You're going to stand in your power and continually do the work of reaffirming and remembering your infinite connection to the divine, that you are infinite source, God, Goddess, in this human experience. That every action, every word, every thought is creating a ripple effect. And therefore you have the ability and the power to shift trajectory. If there is something that an experience that you do not like, that you are having, you have the ability to transmute and transform it. You have the ability to alchemize. You have the ability to dissolve and reconfigure your experience. And this is what this portal is about. This portal is about going within, not being afraid of the stillness and the darkness, letting go of the fear, the doubt, the judgment, the separation, the illusions, letting go of all that you were taught is the truth and is you, and embracing that infinite part of yourself, that part of yourself that knows that it is infinite, that it is worthy, that it is expansive, that it is God, Goddess, source, consciousness inhabiting this human form. That part that knows who you are, that soul essence. This is what we are calling in and what we are seeking to be in divine union with. And while we do this process of seeking to be in divine union with our soul is divine union with the divine. There's no separation. We are all mirrors of one another. We are all on this earth having this physical experience in order to learn and grow and expand. And how wonderful would this world be if we just looked at everything with curiosity, with the eyes of a child, not judging, not shaming, not guilting, not living from fear, but living from a place of awe. This is what's in front of me. Let me give this my full attention. Whether I have to transmute it or I'm just here to enjoy it, let me give this, that being that's in front of me, let me give them love. Let me show them love. Let me show them inspiration. Let me share wisdom. Let me embody my light more fully. Show up with my gifts and show up for myself, nurturing and caring for myself, so that they too can know that this is possible for them. They also have this ability to transcend, to transmute, to alchemize, to transform, and to embody their light. This is the reason Yeshua and other high holy teachers like Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, and different philosophies have different light beings. But this is the reason even Mother Mary was a high holy being. Mary Magdalene, a priestess of the light. All of these beings incarnated to remind us that we are infinite, that we have this ability to transform, transmute, to alchemize, to transcend. And it is through union with the divine that we do this. It is through cultivating that relationship with the Shekhinah, with your soul essence, with the divine. All of these, this is all one. We are all one. There is no need to be jealous of another being. There is no need to be judging or shaming or guilting ourselves or others. Every being is having their experience in accordance with what they chose. And that may be hard for us to understand and fathom with our mind. But in terms of the infinite cosmic symphony that is life, that is the truth. The truth is that every being is having their own experience based on their own agreements that they made. And no one is better than the other. There is no one, this has to be the way that everyone expresses. No, that's boring. That's not why we incarnated. That's not why Source created. Source, God, Goddess created creation to express itself in a myriad of ways. And then see what else can come forth from this creation. This is the beauty of the work that we do. This is the beauty of creation. This is the beauty of our existence, that we have this ability, this free will to transcend whatever is in front of us. It simply takes our awareness. It really does. It comes down to us being aware of what our triggers are, how to manage them, how to navigate them, and what we wish to align ourselves to. Do we wish to align ourselves to our infinite light, Source, God, Goddess, the infinite nature of our being, or do we wish to align ourselves with the lower frequencies, with the limitations, with the perceived limitations? It really is up to us to liberate ourselves from fear, from the fear programs, from the stagnation, from the feelings of lack, of doubt, of jealousy, of judgment, of guilt, of shame, of separation. It is when we can see ourselves and one another that we truly are living from that higher perspective, from that soul essence, from that essence that is in alignment with all that is. And we're coming into the Capricorn solar portal. The Capricorn portal began on the new moon in Capricorn, which I think was about a week and a few days ago. And that was a very powerful portal for seeding new beginnings, for minding the structures in your life. Are the structures in your life creating more ease, more flow, more abundance for you? Or are they not contributing to your well-being? This is really that. Capricorn is about legacy. Capricorn is about the foundation. It is about hard work. It is about discipline. It is about commitment. It is about building your legacy. It is an earth sign, so it is about the tangible material realm, but it's the sea goat. So there is that spiritual aspect. It's that bringing the divine essence into the material. So it's a very powerful and spiritual time to really ask ourselves, what are we bringing into fruition? What are we investing our time and our energy to? Are we in alignment with our infinite light, or are we aligning ourselves to denser, lower frequencies of separation? It's a beautiful portal. Capricorn is one of my favorite energies. It is because it's an earth sign. It is definitely a sign of the physicality. And I love that it is spirit being birthed into matter, because that really is what you are. You are spirit in matter, but your foundation is spirit. So it's a very, very powerful time. This winter solstice is a powerful portal. And the way that we work with this energy is we align. We choose to come into stillness, come into our heart center, and really allow this portal to show us what is it that we need to shed, what is it that we need to restructure, renew, what is it that needs to be rebirthed in our lives, what is it that we need to align with in order to bring into the physical realm all of those seeds that you wish to birth forth. So happy winter solstice, Yule. I have found in my experience that the more that I align with the cycles, the more that life and different aspects of myself are revealed to me. And that is the magic of working with the cycles. It is really going into them and allowing what is revealed to you to be shown. So for me, this season really is about letting go, surrendering the programs and the projections that other people have on me. Because I'm a Cancerian, I'm a Cancer sun. And so for me, it's very difficult to let go, to just let things slide. I can be somewhat rigid in the way that I expect certain things to be and certain people to behave. And for me, this time has basically made me slow down and really surrender. Surrender the projections that other people have of me. Surrender my expectation for them to do things in a more correct way. Surrender my expectations, surrender my judgment, surrender my need for things to be a certain way, which is my preconceived notion of how things need to be. So this season definitely for me is a lot about surrender. And one of the mantras that I've been working with to support me in the surrender, in addition to my practices, is the mantra is Hineni, Hinei, and it's Aramaic for I surrender. Let go, let God, let Allah, just surrender to the divine, just let it all go. And I've been doing 108 repetitions of this every day, and in addition, as I mentioned, to my other practices, and it really reminds me, no, I'm going to let go, and I'm going to trust and have faith that everything, the divine, God, Goddess, everything is working in my favor. Everything is working to put me in the right positions for my soul work. So this sound My apologies. The sound healing component of this, that is the companion episode, will be about surrender. It will focus on surrender, it will focus on clearing, and it will focus on seeding your intentions. As you probably heard me say this before, it's just as if we're the earth. The earth needs to be tilled. The earth needs to have the weeds taken out. The trees need to have the dead fruit taken from their branches. All of this we need to do in order to renew ourselves, to ready ourselves, to give birth to the new. And this is what we're going into. This is all about this cycle, going within, really seeing what needs to be revealed to you so you can step into more of your authenticity, more of your power, more of your light. Shine and embody more of your light. Join me for the companion sound healing. Have a blessed day of the goddess, Shabbat day. Blessings on this winter solstice, Christmas, Hanukkah holiday portal, and all the different holidays that we have during this time. Celebrate your light, share your light, embody your light, radiate your light, because it is absolutely necessary. Ahava. Have a beautiful rest of your day.